Think you know your favorite celebrities? Think again. Because behind the glam, behind the filters, behind those perfect red carpet moments, makeup artists see the side of celebrity life the public was never meant to witness.
I'm just not ready to talk to reporters about my lips yet because
Only the artists who work closest to high-profile celebrities get access to the real secrets. The fears confessed in quiet moments, the faces they fix under pressure, and the truth that never survives once the cameras turn off.
You probably haven't dated a famous guy.
That is not true. I make them famous.
Sometimes that silence breaks, and when it does, the stories that surface reveal far more than anyone ever hears about. In When Makeup Artists Expose Celebrities, we dive into the real stories, told by the artists who are finally ready to speak. Kylie Jenner built her beauty identity on transformation and mystery, yet her most famous feature began with a secret that grew far beyond her control. For years, her audience watched her lips change shape, and questions followed her everywhere. Instead of admitting the truth, the explanation repeated in interviews was simple. It was makeup. It was contouring. It was a technique anyone could learn.
I'm gonna leave this for like the rest of my makeup. I do pretty much color my whole lip with lip liner.
Her makeup artist, Rob Sheppy, supported that explanation. He told major publications that Kylie Jenner's lips were created by expertly applied lip liner and balm.
I think I can do it with my eyes closed. Pretty good.
Her 505 million followers believed it, and the belief spread faster than anyone expected. Teenage girls across the world began attempting the look, but they did not follow makeup tutorials. Instead, they created a dangerous challenge that involved suctioning their lips with shot glasses. Many ended up bruised, swollen, or permanently scarred. The story only began to shift when the pressure became impossible to ignore. Kylie Jenner finally admitted that temporary lip fillers were responsible for the transformation. She was 17 years old when she revealed the truth.
How does she get these beautiful lips?
I have temporary lip fillers.
And there were a lot of reactions around the truth reveal. I'm happy that she admitted it, because a lot of people were actually doing crazy things to try to get them. Good for her. You did lie, Kylie. You said you used a lot of lip liner to get those big lips. The deeper concern was not the fillers themselves. It was the system around her that allowed a harmful trend to grow, while professionals remained silent. Her glam team had protected the image, not the young fans who looked to her for guidance.
This is the Kylie Jenner lip challenge.
Oh, let me take a selfie.
Kylie's story barely scratches the surface, because the next revelation takes this even further. Jennifer Lopez is known for precision and control, especially when it comes to her public life. That control was tested during a moment that involved the person she trusted most with her image, makeup artist Scott Barnes. When Jennifer Lopez married singer Marc Anthony in a private ceremony, the news leaked to the press. The timing was suspicious, and the circle of people who knew was small.
I was really impressed.
I'd love to scream too.
I wish we agreed more when...
We're technically still married.
Jennifer Lopez believed Scott Barnes was responsible for the leak and removed him from her team immediately.
Hi, I'm Scott Barnes. After 30 years of being in the fashion and beauty industry, I'm finally bringing my beauty collection to all of you.
Scott Barnes only learned he had been dismissed when a media outlet contacted him for comment. He had not been told directly, and he was devastated. Their professional relationship had lasted for years, and he had been responsible for some of her most recognizable looks.
It broke my heart to see that she had been hurt.
After the story spread, Jennifer Lopez realized he was not the source of the leak. She reached out to him again with an attempt at reconciliation. She said it had been a misunderstanding, and that she missed working with him. Scott Barnes eventually returned, but the entire situation showed just how fast loyalty can flip in Hollywood, sometimes without a shred of proof. This moment revealed how quickly loyalty can crumble in Hollywood glam rooms, and the next celebrity on this list proves it in a whole new way. Anne Hathaway is known for her polished image, her gentle smile, and her roles that often present her as kind or refined.
Wearing makeup every day can be tough on your skin.
To counter that, you need an anti-aging product which is gentle yet effective.
This image was questioned when celebrity hairstylist Emmanuel Miller spoke publicly about his experience working with her during a film production. Emmanuel Miller explained that he worked with her one-on-one for more than 4 months. Their sessions lasted hours each day, and his daughter was even serving as Anne Hathaway's stand-in on the same film. Yet Anne Hathaway never once asked him a personal question, never greeted him warmly, and never acknowledged him outside of the professional task.
During that time while we were in Los Angeles, my daughter was her stand-in, and I was doing her hair personally, just one-on-one. I was just doing her hair.
He described her behavior as cold and dehumanizing, not in one moment, but consistently across the entire project. The experience left him feeling invisible, despite being someone she interacted with daily.
She never said, "Your daughter, do you have other children, or how long have you been married?" There was never any personal conversation.
When the story spread online, viewers were shocked. Anne Hathaway did not deny the events. She only stated that her memories were very different.
I've long held this belief, for a storytelling belief, an actress belief, and I guess the music that I like too, that people put way too much emphasis on being likable.
Her response was careful, yet it did not erase the emotional impact of Emmanuel Miller's account. Some fans corroborated the story as something they can easily associate with Anne Hathaway. One of my friends has worked with Anne twice now, and says the exact same thing. Shallow, fake, and a complete narcissist. Anne has always been arrogant, and it shouldn't be a surprise at all. Despite the controversy, Anne kept something rare in Hollywood: genuine support. A huge number of fans stayed on her side. Anne Hathaway has always been that girl. Iconic. In the glam world, where makeup artists often double as emotional support, this story exposed an unsettling truth. Working inches from someone doesn't guarantee respect, and kindness isn't always part of the job. If you thought Anne's story was intense, wait until you hear what Kim Kardashian's makeup artists exposed. Joyce Bonelli was more than a makeup artist to the Kardashian family. She had created looks that defined their brand, and was part of nearly every major milestone in their careers for more than a decade.
We have a lot of history together. And she's been doing my makeup since I was like 9.
Then, without warning, the entire Kardashian-Jenner family unfollowed her on Instagram at the same time. Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian, Kendall Jenner, Kylie Jenner, and Kris Jenner all severed the digital connection.
I used Kylie Mary Jo K, so I start.
Reports emerged that Joyce Bonelli had attempted to secure a secret business deal that would profit from the family's image without their involvement. This accusation was followed by claims that she had taken credit for creative ideas that were not hers.
Hey, you're launching your own makeup line.
How did you know? That's so crazy.
I'm good at Google.
Oh my God.
Joyce Bonelli responded with cryptic posts online, including a photo in a bathrobe with a message that seemed confrontational. She insisted she had never been fired, and that the story was not what people believed. And fans all over had a lot to say about it. I like how she said no competition. Anyone that ever worked with the Kardashians and decides to branch off is always shunned by the family, and the world follows. It's really disgusting. But yet, they did the same with their crew when they moved to Hulu, and just basically abandoned them. So let people grow and have their own thing beyond the Kardashians. She's an individual. In the Kardashian world, makeup artists aren't allowed to have side hustles unless the family signs off, and fans have plenty to say about that. She's nice. That leopard jacket is lit. Funny how they think anything they do can be kept secret. Girl, y'all aren't allowed secrets. Other fans tried to spin the situation, insisting they knew what was actually going down behind the glam, and it only fueled the drama. Sounds like Joyce tried to make money moves on her own, as she should, since she has the beauty and talent. But culture vulture Kardashians were salty they wouldn't get dollars off Joyce's work. Not surprising. Do you, Joyce, and don't let them stop you. The truth behind the split remains private due to NDAs. However, the incident revealed how quickly the Kardashian ecosystem can close ranks when trust is broken. Business partnerships in their world are tightly controlled, and makeup artists are expected to follow those boundaries carefully. If you believe the Kardashian makeup artist fallout was already pushing boundaries, what Britney's own glam team exposed makes it clear the stakes were even higher. Unsettling accounts come from the makeup artists who worked inches from Britney Spears during her conservatorship. They weren't sharing gossip, they were exposing a system.
I've been in the conservatorship for 13 years.
What they revealed wasn't drama, it was the framework that kept her trapped. Billy Brasfield, who worked with Britney Spears on The X Factor, noticed that something felt unusual about her social media posts.
She wants to be able to drive her car when she wants to. In the conservatorship, she does not have that.
When he reached out to her about one particular caption, she allegedly responded that the words did not reflect how she felt. Another artist, known as Maxi, stated publicly that Britney Spears' team restricted her ability to marry, maintain friendships, or control her body. He explained that even though Britney Spears physically posted her Instagram content, a team was required to approve every word before it went live.
He saw one of my sons one day this year, and he decided not to go back over there because of what he saw.
Julianne Kay, who worked with Britney Spears in the early stages of her career, described watching her mental and emotional decline in real time. She painted a picture of a young woman overwhelmed by fame, responsibility, and pressure that no one protected her from.
I need hands, I know, so I can be fancy. Oh, mamacita.
And fans agreed that she was a victim of her circumstances. This poor woman has gone through so much as a kid that she was never allowed to mature. Some people were furious, demanding that everyone just let Britney Spears be. Oh, good God, leave Britney alone. I'm not going to expose her personal life. Yet there you are on TV doing just that. These revelations shaped how the world understood Britney Spears' struggle. Britney's makeup artists were the first to see what was really happening behind the scenes. And once their quiet truth surfaced, fans rallied around her with a level of support the industry had never seen. Britney's story showed how deeply a glam team can matter. But with Blake Lively, the flawless A-list persona doesn't always line up with what happens once the cameras stop. According to her own glam team, the version of her off-screen is nothing like the one the public sees. Blake Lively has long been admired for her charm and warmth. The story shared by hairstylist Emmanuel Miller contrasted strongly with that public perception.
I was told by the makeup artist that Blake invited some people over for Easter dinner.
During the filming of a movie in 2011, Blake Lively invited the entire crew to her home for dinner. It seemed like a generous gesture. However, when the guests arrived, they discovered that she had prepared only pastries and dessert towers. There was no actual meal.
The movie was there, and Chloe Grace Moretz was there, and Blake's family. I met her mother and her brother. And
according to Emmanuel Miller, Blake Lively barely spoke to anyone throughout the evening. She remained distant, engaged in her own tasks, and uninterested in the people she had invited.
But what I noticed was there was no food prepared, and Blake was working with a pastry bag.
He described her demeanor as similar to what he had experienced with Anne Hathaway: cold, dismissive, and difficult to approach. Blake's reputation had already begun to crack, with small incidents slowly exposing a very different side of her. The media didn't make Blake a monster. She did it herself. The biggest misconception was everyone thinking Blake was a nice person. He also mentioned that some members of her own family appeared fearful or cautious around her.
Closest to her family were afraid to say something, that nobody was about to say, Blake, you've got all these guests here, you've invited people for dinner.
This detail, although subtle, suggested a more complex personality than the public ever sees. Blake Lively's off-camera behavior caused whispers, but the next story caused shockwaves. A Kardashian stylist found themselves at the center of a controversy the family tried hard to contain.
I'm Monica Rose, celebrity stylist. Whether it be for work or the weekend, I'm here to show you my top fall trends.
Khloe Kardashian had always spoken fondly of Monica Rose, her stylist of 10 years.
All of our friends, family, extended, everybody, and you're always doing something for someone else.
She credited Monica Rose with helping her feel confident during the moments when she struggled with her appearance. Their professional relationship ended abruptly in 2017. Shortly afterward, Khloe Kardashian posted messages online implying that a friend had stolen from her and that she was considering legal action.
What would you do if you found out a friend was stealing from you? Would you cut off the friendship?
Reports connected those messages to Monica Rose. Sources claimed that Monica Rose had kept thousands of dollars worth of designer pieces that belonged to Khloe Kardashian and had never returned them. Fans couldn't wait to side with the Kardashians. It's the stylist the girls dumped. She was probably buying stuff for herself with their credit, thinking they wouldn't notice. I hope they expose her on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The entire Kardashian-Jenner family unfollowed Monica Rose at the same time, a pattern that had also happened during the Joyce Bonelli incident. The story was never fully revealed in public due to NDAs, Yet it became another example of how artist relationships with Hollywood can collapse without warning, especially when money and trust collide. If you thought that story was newsworthy, wait until you hear what Mariah Carey's own makeup artists have revealed about working with her. Mariah Carey's glamorous reputation has always included elements of extravagance, but her former stylist and assistant described a lifestyle that went far beyond diva theatrics.
She needed a hairstylist, and of course my heart dropped. I'm like, this is Mariah Carey, and she's asking to test me out. But she did, and she kept me around.
Philip Block, a former stylist, stated that working with Mariah Carey felt unpredictable and overwhelming.
Do you know what it's like the first time to meet Mariah Carey?
You did not like me when you met me.
That's so...
Another assistant made an even more surprising claim. According to them, Mariah Carey did not participate in normal routines such as brushing her own hair. Everything was done for her, from small tasks to major decisions.
I'm almost afraid to walk in here on that. So their two favorite divas up on stage.
Mariah Carey had begun to fully believe her own legend, carrying herself like a queen who answered to no one, drifting into a level of entitlement that made working with her almost impossible. Mariah, tell me about your huge ego. Is that something you are working on? This level of dependency suggested a world where the artist had become so accustomed to assistance that basic self-care had faded from her daily life. Her diva behavior had escalated so far that her makeup artists no longer felt like artists at all. They felt like caretakers. If Mariah Carey seemed like the ultimate spoiled princess, the next celebrity takes things to a completely different place. A place where glam artists feared for their safety. Naomi Campbell's status as a supermodel is unmatched, yet her behavior toward her staff has been reported for decades.
My career, it never was I wanted to be Naomi Campbell for fame. If you do your job correctly, that will come with.
Multiple assistants and glam artists have filed legal complaints describing incidents of physical aggression.
Along the way, when you've had this legendary career, you've also, of course, built a reputation. Sometimes being a little difficult to...
These were not accusations of rudeness. They were allegations of violence.
I have a reputation, rightly or wrongly, for being quite an angry.
Reports include thrown phones, shouting, and physical contact that resulted in legal charges. Court documents detail these incidents clearly and repeatedly.
No, well, I didn't really want to be here, so I was made to be here. So obviously, I'm just like wanting to get this over with and get on with my life. This is a big inconvenience for me.
Even when the stories reached the public, Naomi Campbell continued to work at the highest levels of fashion.
Wait a minute. Don't compare. Don't compare yourself.
Yet her attitude had been discussed behind the scenes for so long that it eventually spilled into the mainstream. And by then, even fans were taking shots as her image began to fall apart. She has always been despicable. It has caught up with her. And then the pylon exploded. The comments hit with a speed that felt almost impossible, one after another. This one is a bad egg too, and she needs to go down for her horrible behavior to people and her hatefulness towards people in her employment. Naomi's long-buried incidents finally erupted into the public eye, and the reaction was swift. Years of whispered warnings suddenly laid out in full view. Her glam artists and staff had carried those stories quietly, but once they surfaced, the facade shattered. And yet, the next story pulls the curtain back even farther. Because Gwen Stefani's makeup artists didn't just share complaints, they revealed secrets that reshaped her entire public image. If you thought Naomi was a diva, just wait. The shocking revelations from our next A-lister, Gwen Stefani, take things to a whole new level. Gwen Stefani has spent decades cultivating a brand built on color, kindness, and effortless charm. The sweet, approachable pop icon who beams on stage and radiates warmth on television.
Okay, so this is a situation. When you're wearing braces, you need to just totally accept that they are part of your...
But behind the glam chair, the version of Gwen that her team experienced was far more complicated. Things shifted when a story from a past photo shoot resurfaced. A moment where Gwen reportedly snapped at a makeup artist in front of the entire production crew. Her voice was raised, her frustration was sharp, and the patience she was known for evaporated in seconds. Someone on set even caught the whole thing on camera, but that footage has mysteriously never seen the light of day. People who were there say it was the first time they'd ever seen Gwen lose control like that, and it changed the way her glam team looked at her forever. This reveal wasn't just a bad moment, it was becoming a pattern. Observers had been side-eyeing her attitude in recent appearances, sensing something was off. I wish she was as interesting as her music. Soon after the video went public, more stories began circulating within the beauty community. Artists who had worked with Gwen in the past quietly admitted that the behavior wasn't surprising. A few even reached out to each other privately, sharing experiences that matched what the public had just seen. What was once whispered inside the industry was now being compared, confirmed, and repeated. Crew members echoed the same descriptions. Gwen could be unpredictable under pressure, demanding, and surprisingly closed off when fans approached her during filming.
Write something commercial, like you just write. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To them, the Sunshine and Smiles persona felt like something she turned on only when the camera was rolling, and fans saw through her. She used to be so unique. And that contrast between the Gwen on The Voice and the Gwen behind the scenes became harder to ignore once multiple voices began to align. The screaming at staff was simply the first crack. The stories that followed filled in the rest of the picture.
I had no response about it.
Did you just say the G word?
Even so, Gwen Stefani remains deeply loved by millions. Her music, her legacy, and her image still resonate with fans around the world. But after these stories resurfaced, many viewers began seeing her through a slightly different lens, not with anger, but with awareness. The affection is still there, yet now, in the back of people's minds, there's a quiet understanding that the Gwen on camera might not always be the Gwen her glam team knows. In the end, the biggest revelations don't come from tabloids. They come from the artists standing inches away from the celebrities themselves. They see the truth behind the image, the pressure behind the perfection, and the moments the public never will. If you thought this video was eye-opening, the next one goes even further. Don't forget to watch the next video for more shocking, juicy celebrity exposures.